As someone who's always been very price conscious about my setups and not wanting to spend money on two individual monitors, I've always been super curious about vertical or stacked dual monitors. Even on a single screen monitor, I'm always multitasking and split screening with a bunch of windows and apps open, plus some music in the background. So that's why I partnered up with UPERFECT to test out their new Delta Pro Touch, which is a stacked dual monitor with two 16-inch displays. Unlike most budget dual monitors you can find online, the resolution here is 2.5K on each display with touchscreen support. And as you can see, this thing is vertically mounted, which I think is a more efficient use of space on a lot of desk setups. Even though the pressure sensitivity and pen support might make this seem more geared towards artists and graphic designers, the Delta Pro Touch has been an excellent general productivity tool for me, and I think it can do the same for a lot of you out there. First things first, let's just go over the basics. If these aren't good displays, you wouldn't even consider them, so the good news is that these are good displays. 2560 by 2600 resolution per display makes this higher res than most other dual screen monitors. They might not be 4K, but watching 4K movie scenes looks awesome here. That also makes for 16 by 10 aspect ratios, which makes a lot of sense for better vertical screen real estate. While 16 inches might not sound that big, two of them stacked on top of each other actually makes this setup really tall, so it doesn't really feel like I'm missing out on screen size. It's also 100% sRGB, and I actually did find that the out-of-the-box color tuning to be fairly accurate and one-to-one with my laptop. I didn't have to do any major adjustments here, which is always nice. 350 nits doesn't sound too crazy, but it's actually very good for being here on my desk all the time. As a Mac user, I didn't find the pressure sensitive touchscreen to be that useful, but it's basically a requirement for designers, so it's a nice to have, especially with the pen included in the box. Unfortunately, I'm not an artist, so I can't say much there, but I can tell that the touchscreen sensitivity and response times are very good and feels just like a tablet. It's just that macOS isn't very good with touchscreen, but I'm sure you'll find it a bit better to use it for Windows. The only thing I'll call out is that the contrast ratio just meets expectations. I didn't find these IPS panels to be super contrasty, but they're just good enough to not seem bad. So the display quality is great, but let's go over how this actually works. So this thing doesn't have a built-in battery, but it is portable since you can close it and bring it with you, and all you need is a USB-C power source. It does run a little big, but it's surprisingly lighter than you would think at 2.3 kilograms or about 5 pounds. It comes with a built-in kickstand that's actually really flexible. I love how little space this takes up, so much desk space available versus a traditional dual monitor setup. Plus, since this is a foldable, you can really play with your angles here. You can even flip this all the way to the back, and there's even support for audio orientation. There are power and navigation buttons for each display on the right side with two separate audio jacks. All the other ports are located on the left side, and there are a ton of them, 3 USB-C ports and 2 mini HDMI ports. You just use one USB-C port as a power source. Then for fully supported devices, you just need one USB-C cable to connect and use both displays. No need for drivers to use this, you just plug and play. For my M3 MacBook Pro, which isn't officially supported, I can use a single cable, but that only mirrors the two displays. For an extended setup, I split the displays by changing the mode and used another USB-C cable to connect my MacBook. It took an extra cable, but this totally works, and these displays can work independently even on unofficially supported devices. So yes, you can use two separate devices at the same time here, like one for my MacBook and one for my Steam Deck. FYI, macOS isn't the best at scaling external displays, so I do recommend installing Better Display to get the optimal scaling options. The good news is all the cables you need are included in the box, so you don't have to deal with buying more from Amazon. 2 USB-C to USB-C cables, 2 mini HDMI to HDMI, 1 USB-A to USB-C, and a power adapter. Another thing that's included are surprisingly built-in speakers. This thing actually has a speaker for each monitor, and they work independently. What's really cool is that macOS recognizes that these are separate monitors, so wherever your mouse cursor is and you change the volume using your keyboard, it'll adjust the speaker for that specific display. These speakers can get decently loud, nothing crazy, and they are just serviceable in terms of audio quality. It's pretty flat, and I do hear some obvious distortion after the 50% volume mark, but hey, they're not terrible, and you don't necessarily need to buy an external pair of speakers to take up more desk space, so just having it included in the first place is a win. In terms of actually using this thing, there are a couple scenarios that this stacked dual monitor setup is seriously perfect for. First is definitely for the multitaskers. I found this vertical setup to be a lot easier to view and digest information from two separate screens compared to when they're side by side. For me, it just makes more sense for writing scripts or working with spreadsheets where you need to have some info showing from another app or browser window. It's just all within one view, so you don't have to turn your head side to side. Even when you're not multitasking, this is great for when you just want something on while you're working. That could be a movie or TV show, a lo-fi YouTube stream, or important messaging apps like Slack or WhatsApp that you need to stay on top of all the time. Since you can split these displays and use each one with a different device, it's awesome for just chilling and gaming too. I found it really convenient to play my Steam Deck on a bigger screen while watching YouTube on the other. It might not have a super fast refresh rate for competitive gaming, but for casual gaming with a Steam Deck or even a console connected, this is a really compelling use case. And last but not least, of course, as intended, this thing is designed for artists and graphic designers. I can't speak from their point of view, but I will point out that the pressure sensitivity is surprisingly really good and the touchscreen is super responsive. If any of these use cases or user modes sounded interesting to you, I definitely recommend checking out UPERFECT's website using my link below. This 16-inch version starts shipping January 2025, so you can pre-order now with a huge discount and get yours really soon. There's free delivery worldwide with a 30-day risk-free trial and a 2-year warranty policy, so you can feel pretty safe about buying this thing. For $589, I honestly think it's a good deal for 2 excellent displays, built-in speakers, all the cables included, and more. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of this and stacked dual monitor setups. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.